Each week, Val and Amber make royal predictions and track breaking news headlines. On May 9th, Val sees chaos in the charts for the week of May 25th.
Oof, it looks like a tough week. Third house of transportation. Maybe from a local standpoint, I've got this big T-square. This is like a bad guy. This is pretty big in the news.
This is a knight on his horse. It
has to do with a group of kids.
Chariot. I don't love this combination. The Chariot, she's underwater.
May 25th, a major sports victory. Then one day later, crowd mayhem on Water Street.
Welcome to World Predictions and Royal Revelations. I'm Astrologer Val Evans, and it is Friday, May 30th, and Amber with Taurus Moon Tarot and I are here to read the charts and cards and review future news headlines. We're going to predict the future, hopefully, for the next week and beyond. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get an alert for our shows every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. GMT. If you're new here, welcome to the show. The content here is for royal watchers and mundane astrology fans, but we also show you how to make your own predictions by teaching you how to review your own solar return chart. So like we do with newsmakers and royals. And a special thanks to our replay crew and our members, the valedictorians, who make this show possible. If you'd like to become one and support us, please click the join button and get some member-only content. Today's a special day. Mercury is Kazemi in Gemini. So Mercury is forming a perfect conjunction with the sun, which makes us more curious. There are going to be some intellectual breakthroughs. People with this in the birth chart are very special people. They are quite bright, and which makes sense because the sun is just illuminating everything. This could be very good for Geminis. Anything that has to do with Mercury is going to be supercharged. So welcome, everyone. And we're talking about some serious stuff about last week. Hello, welcome all. Come on in. I know it was quite a prediction. We saw, I didn't get May 26th, but I saw it was as early as May 25th that it was coming in. Hello, Marie from Arizona, Vicky from Illinois, and Jen's here. Great to see you. Eleanor from London, met Elizabeth. Hello, good evening over there. Elphaz and Vicky Palmer. Pernilla Wolf Jensen from Denmark. And we've got Soda Pop here, our Hawaii connection. And thank you, Brenda, for moderating for us. Still interested in hearing your take on Mission Impossible in the theaters. Haven't been to the theater in a while. So, and Shauna, thank you for helping us moderate. We are so glad you're here. So thank you all for clicking the thumbs up and potentially thinking about joining. We've got some stuff coming up that's kind of cool, and I'm going to show you that. And then what we're going to do is get into the birth chart of a former royal officer who just plowed into a group of people. That's the guy. So before I get started, though, we've got an interesting weekend for members. We're going to go to Astrology Med School and talk about what types of health issues you could possibly have depending on your sign, depending on what's coming up in your solar return chart. Maybe you see a bunch of red lines and has to do with sixth house. You want to know what it's about. So I'll be online live with members this weekend. Also going to do a show on how to be content and happy based on your birth chart, and also looking at your progressed chart. I'll be on for the Secret Crypto Monthly Forecast. I just interviewed my friend Lars, who is doing pretty well with crypto. So he showed me everything you need to do if you're interested. And we also are looking at his birth chart, and as well as just making predictions for crypto. And then, of course, we're going to have to predict the weather this weekend. So that'll be Sunday at 9 p.m. All right. And if you're interested in pulling your own solar return prediction, you're going to go to AstroSeek. You're going to go to your last solar return prediction, as is the case for this man who just randomly plowed into this crowd. We are looking at his 2024 chart because he was born in November. He didn't have his birthday yet. When you go to your solar return, you're going to click on the solar only. That is the chart. Also, make sure that when you look at it and you're seeing the cities, make sure to put the city where you had your birthday. Even if you were traveling and you were in Paris or Kentucky, wherever it is, type that in for the solar return location. Not the solar and birth, by the way. What is happening in California? How's the weather over there?
It's very hot, very hot. It's got to be a beach weekend to escape the valley heat. But before we start, I will share one thing that I'm very excited about.
What's that?
20 months I've been a member of your channel. And I got a little reminder about it, and I thought I would share that. I'm like, 20 months I've been, and I love the members only content. So when you shared what you're doing this weekend, I'm like marking down, where will I be? I'll be there.
That is so nice. Oh, that's great. It's hard to believe it's been 20 months. So thank you for supporting the channel. And also, before I forget, if you'd like to book a reading with Amber or me, here's the information. It is so much fun to do a reading, but it's also informational too. You can get really good information. Amber, you're an intuitive and also a tarot reader. What are some of the things that you talk to people about when they ask for a tarot reading?
Well, I try to encourage them to provide some kind of focus that they might have. That helps me sort of tune into where their mindset is. So, we can sort of follow the cards and do something general, but typically folks are asking about relationships or maybe their career, family, those sorts of things. So, yeah.
A lot of people have some chaos right now. Just seems like everything happens at once sometimes. And so it's helpful to get some time frames too. When is everything going to calm down a little bit? Did you do any kind of thinking about this week, any observations or reading, like a pre-spread?
I did, and I have very specific messages coming through for the week ahead. That's kind of the question that I asked. What can we expect? Potential headlines, stories, things that might pop up. And I have an interesting message of an unusual or unlikely partnership or alliance with two parties. And I'm getting this with two different spreads. So I have the 12th house energy, the 7th house opposing that, and a conjunction between the two. It's sort of this unlikely connection, and I have more of it with the 2 of Cups and the Emperor. So it could be world leaders, it could be it's unlikely or unsuspecting, or it's like the odd couple of people coming together. I don't see it as an individual relationship, but also I see something around a vehicle and a home or a wedding. And it made me think immediately of that sad story a year or two ago of a bride on a golf cart was killed the night of her wedding. It's like something with cars and weddings or celebrations. I keep getting that. I know for months. And we're going to talk and look at the Liverpool tragedy. I hate that I got those cards, but that's what came through.
Not another car. We keep seeing so many cars, lots of transportation, Mercury. Well, we've got Jupiter in Gemini, and we've had it in a square for a while, which means havoc. It means chaos. And that's why Mercury, when it's in retrograde, is just, it means chaos in itself. The thief, it likes to switch things up at the last second, and you're like, oh my God, whether it's transportation or even like your computer. And speaking of transportation, how about those pigeons in the plane? Did you see that?
I did.
This is a Delta plane. When I was younger, I used to laugh. I'd call it "Don't ever leave the airport."
Yes.
But in this case, they were about to take off, and one pigeon flies into the main cabin. They're all crazy and laughing, and they get the pigeon. And then after they take off, I guess another pigeon comes out, which means 2 pigeons. So another Gemini type of sign. What I think this could be 2 people. But I mean, we're already seeing Elon Musk here
Mhm.
and how he's taken a step back. Everybody's being a little bit diplomatic, even though Elon's coming out against the Trump administration a bit because there's some sour grapes there, you can tell. I wonder if something is going to be coming out where Elon is now focused on other things.
Yeah.
But to me, this is a big sign of a transportation reboot. And I thought, maybe I should ask you, what do you think?
Well, it could also indicate he partners or does something unlikely or
Exactly.
different. So let's ask what he's
You
doing.
were just saying that, right?
Oh, interesting. Yes. It's like something never done before. He might get involved in something, and it could be financial, but it's like quitting, working on something. You've quit. You're out. You're leaving a particular kind of work. Or it could be money loss. He might get married. Is he married? He's not married.
No, that would be interesting if he did that.
He could get married. I have the Ace of Cups.
So that could mean a union of some sort. There's a lot of controversial news coming out about Elon that he used a lot of drugs and he ruined his body. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out right now.
Yeah.
So reading that, but Elon is brilliant. And whether you love him or hate him, it does seem like there's going to be some new developments there.
I was going to development housing too. I see real estate.
Okay. I hope it is a one person, like Japan. There's something that just dropped about Japan. There's a big excitement about the one person electric car, and it's very small, and it's like going like crazy in Japan. But I would like maybe a one person, just like a mini helicopter, something like that would make me very happy. Jen, you said Elon's got Starlight installation pending in South Africa. Jen, you said ex-flight attendant here. We once had a passenger who put her hermit crabs in a bag in the overhead bin. Mid-flight, they were climbing down the walls. Crazy stuff. Oh my God. When I took Aeroflot one time, and I was just a college kid, my eyes were big. I was just like looking at everybody coming in because they were mostly Russians coming into the plane. And I remember somebody holding a big toilet seat and trying to get it into the overhead. It's just crazy what people travel. And you said USA-India alliance to check on China and Brexit. It's so funny that every time I want to say Brexit, I say Megxit. So I got to work on that. Marie, you're made for chaos. I think many of us are. And protest today in Paris calling for exit from EU, which makes me wonder, Jan. Now, there are a lot of fishermen in the news here, and they've been going back and forth with England. And I thought they got what they wanted when it came to the rights to fish in the English Channel or waters. The fighting Macrons, can that be an omen or something? That's a good call. You know what? Let's pull a card on that. And we're talking about a lady in red, lots of fighting. We're talking about royals, and we're talking about a plane. So a plane can mean divorce. It can mean a break in power, maybe. What do you think?
Look at that Ace of Cups again. Let's see. Okay. This is a good omen. It's more about partnership. I couldn't have more about partnerships and connections between two people. Two of Cups, lovers. This is the Gemini Mercury card too. So the twins. It's like it's also a decision. Oh, around a divorce. Wow.
Yes.
That's a divorce card in reverse, the Hierophant in reverse.
You got a divorce one time. And sometimes when we pick up on some things, it's because we are seeing some headlines ahead. We're not sure if it's true or not, but I remember right before the Obamas kind of talk about that divorce, you pulling cards on divorce. So that's possible. I hope not. But I hope sometimes Uranus, which is divorce, can also mean freedom and independence.
Yeah.
So, Angel, you said, I'm not made for chaos, but I sure do attract it. Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. Was it not King Charles with the it looked a little bit like King Charles, I gotta say. Jan Buckeye poor air traffic control why planes are crashing. Yeah, it's just, in fact, my dad even asked me the other day, he's like, why are all of these planes crashing or having trouble?
Yeah.
And I really think it shows a reset. It's so many problems that something new is going to be born from this. And I think that's positive.
Yeah.
All right. Now, and we started at 3:30 today because the moon was void, and it would have been 17 minutes into the start of the show. So I figured let's move it to 3:30. The moon is now in Leo, which is perfect for royal predictions. Now, this just dropped today. Prince William, I want to bring about real change in a world exclusive from the Telegraph. The prince says he's leading the Duchy of Cornwall with a simple goal: improving people's lives. And that is a very interesting drop for a Friday. I wonder why it was a Friday. Usually, I mean, I guess major news is usually on Mondays. Maybe Fridays is the subtle day. Let's get things out subtly, start getting everybody in. I mean, look at that new photograph he took. Very nice. So Leo with all the hair on his face, and also Leo is also bald. And my question to you is, what do you think? This is a strategy. This is a media strategy right here. What is behind it?
Transparency. Page of Swords in reverse is getting an exciting, people talking. This is about people talking and revealing something, getting like rally the troops. This is rally people from, shake up. It's shake people up to talk about. I want to ask what they're talking about. Gemini. Peace, harmony, good things. I mean, this is what he's saying. He wants good for all. He wants people talking about that.
Okay, that's a good thing. Good. Ace of Cups. Well, here's the other thing too. He is having some bad press because the Downton Abbey, the owners of the Downton Abbey location or palace, would it be a palace? I don't know, castle. They have all of these low-income housing, and it's going to obstruct their view. And it's like, you know what, Prince William, can't you find a place to build these new homes near your castle? Why are you building it over here? So I could understand the problems around that. And we were talking, I guess it was many months ago, about many homes and Prince William. And that was that cluster in Cancer that I believe is in his solar return chart. So that kind of explains a little bit of controversy there. So there's Water Street. Former Royal Marine Paul Desmond Sanders Doyle is the guy who really hurt a lot of people. Now, what's happening? Well, everybody's trying to get the story straight. There were obviously a lot of witnesses, which is represented by Mercury. Mercury, it represents being able to see, to sense, to hear, to smell. When you have a lot of people, they can see what's going on. And it seemed like maybe broken glass, provocation. These people, apparently they were provoking the driver. And then there were a lot of people who said that wasn't even the driver. When they saw the photo of this Royal Marine, they're like, that's not him. Well, it's an old picture probably. I have a question before we even get into his chart, because we're going to be able to see what happened to him. I've got his birthday. Tell us about former Marine, Royal Marine, Paul Desmond Sanders Doyle.
Okay. Wow. One more. He probably has a turbulent personal life, or did. He might even have, it may come out that with his service, he might have not had a great record. Seven of Swords, first thing that comes out. The Four of Cups in reverse, that came out a minute ago, but it's a different deck. And to me, this is like someone who is unpredictable. They're trouble at work. They are difficult. And with this Queen of Cups, it's like maybe within a marriage, maybe in relationships, maybe he has an angst, an issue around women. Yeah, Three of Cups is on the bottom. That's a group of women.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, you can see in his chart that he's having a hard time, lots of upsets, especially recently.
Yeah.
But everyone who knows him says they are completely shocked that he's a family man. He's got 3 grown children. It seems like a happy family. And what on earth would possess somebody to do this? So I
Yeah.
want to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
Jan, you said he's on LinkedIn now, a cyber guy. So cyber is Aquarius and Uranus. So keep that in mind. Hello, Kelly from Ontario, Canada. Thank you for writing in. We're always interested in where people are from. And yeah, Jan, about William, he promised for years to build homes for homeless. Anyone seen them yet? So I guess he's really, really trying to make that happen now. And Jen, you said that just a theory, but a lot of aircraft were parked during COVID. Mechanical issues due to lack of use. That's possible. I never even thought about that. Jen, you said London protests due about the duchies and non-declaration of taxes by Charles and Will. Jan, you said EU got full fishing rights for 12 years in UK water. Right. So, and I think the Brits were pretty irritated about that. Doyle, whose full name is Paul Desmond Sanders Doyle, has been charged with 6 counts that are all contrary to Section 18 of the Offenses Against the Person Act 1861. These are 2 counts of unlawful and malicious wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. 2 counts of causing unlawful and malicious grievous bodily harm with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. He's very lucky that, knock on wood, so far no one was killed. Now, this is Paul Doyle's solar return based on me rectifying it. This is what you would do when you pull your solar return chart. You start on your birthday. That's going to be that first month there. And so we are all the way over here. He would have started. It's interesting how I always say when there is a month, in this case for him, the 7th month, that has a lot of signs in that house, it's going to be either a long month or there's going to be a lot of energies coming in that month. And that sure is the case for this man. So if we were to go to May 4th, we're probably wanting to go later in this house because that was May 26th. So pretty close to this area. Interesting how it's getting close to that royal degree. So we're getting close to the vertex here, and everybody's like, what's the vertex? Well, honestly, it doesn't really matter because all we really need to know, it's Leo energy. And also, by the way, we can say that vertex is the point of the chart, the point of your year. And so what does Leo have to do with it? It has to do with, it's a game.
Yeah.
A game is going to play a very big part. So what you would do is add some of the aspects. And now we get to some problems. We have some squares here. So something's happening here. Sometimes a square can show you're trying to get someplace. And he's trying to get someplace and he gets into an accident maybe, which would be Uranus on 1 degree from Algol, which is the devil degree. Now, they were talking, there's a lot of rumors that Paul Doyle was having something to do with alcohol or whatever, even if he was not. This area of Taurus is the addicts, and it represents alcohol. So there was alcohol at least in the environment among sports fans. So there he's trying to get somewhere, and suddenly there is a big, big, big shock. The apex of the T-square is going to be the problem, the main heart of what's going on, and that is that game. And there's all the crowd there trying to get through, cannot get through. Interesting how right at the very end of his 7th house, so we're coming into the first days of June, and if you saw that May 9th I believe it was that May 9th show, we were talking about how there's something that's court related, that everybody's going to be talking about something in court. And you are going to be seeing Doyle in court. And everybody's wondering, well, why are they giving him those charges? Now, Mercury's going to start ruling him as we get into these first few days of June. And there you go. Mercury is in Sagittarius, which represents the court.
Yes.
So everything's going to be screwed up there. Really, really tough. And there it is. There's the car. The car, this would be Mercury. Mercury would be trying to drive somewhere. This is what I rectified for Paul for his birth chart. Even if you don't know the time, you really can take information from a birth chart without it. And because he's over 50, we can automatically look at Saturn, because that's really the planet you become. You can see how your life is going to be when you look at Saturn and you're over 50. If there are a lot of red lines to it, there's going to be some difficulty. Another thing I do is I go to the progressed chart too, and I will look at how Saturn looks in the progressed chart, which can show a little bit of a change. Sometimes it can look a little bit better.
True for men and women?
For men and women, yes, Saturn will rule both of them. And a great question, because if you're looking at a chart and you're looking at a female, the person is between maybe 18 and 35, 40. That's going to be Venus for a female, Mars for a male.
Right.
Now, interesting that if Mars was his chart ruler, well, we've got a lot of Aquarius in here, which shows his cyber background. But still, that T-square looks really tough. And look at how much Scorpio is in there. Now, I know some people in my family who are investigators, and they have a lot of Scorpio. So it could mean that you're an investigator. But with Mercury and Scorpio, that's very difficult and can be part of your narrative in your life, sometime in your life, because you want revenge. And I feel like that might have been, people were pounding on his car, and in his mind, the devil was right there around his car, and he just reacted. And so that's what I see there with Saturn in that T. There's Saturn there with Moon. Now, Saturn and Moon means despair. I see this often when I'm talking to people who have lost like a child, or maybe lost someone early on in their life, and there's just a full-on despair for a long period of time. It can also mean poverty. So this guy could come from a very poor background. You know who has Saturn retrograde Moon is Betty White. She's in her second house, and she grew up extremely poor in the Depression. But check out that Uranus. It's applying to his Saturn, which means huge, huge upsets. It could have started coming in maybe the last couple of years. It can represent you as a person being erratic, and everybody else is kind of like shaking in their boots around you. But you might be also reacting to upsets. It's like a personal earthquake. And so this can be part of what he's dealing with, also with Uranus opposing Mercury is a car. So a car accident. And also, what does Saturn Moon mean? It means fear. So lots of maybe creating fear. I'm going to look at the UK solar return. We are going into June now, and it's Scorpio month. So this is a big deal. Pluto is activating here, and it is really very, very strong. Holy moly. That could be pretty good, actually. Scorpio is taxes, it's tariffs, it's other people's things. There is some real success that is being, or rewards that are reaped by some, not everybody, because we've got this Saturn. It's like not so fast. With the sixth house, this is court matters. It is, we're going to see a lot of court and revenge. What do you think is coming up for the UK between June 1st and I want to say probably June 15th?
I keep getting that Four of Cups in reverse. That's like people getting off their rear. It's people coming up and out, and it's motivation. It could be restlessness too. Page of Wands. The Lovers again. This is like, I got the word like duplicate, a dupe. King of Pentacles.
Okay.
I need to understand more about this. I'm getting lots of messages that I don't want to say what it is. This is opportunities. This is people having an option. It could be government provided. It's like this or this. There's an opportunity for moving. It feels like home incentive or interest rate or loans or something around homes and people being able to move or move more freely and having choices. The word choice and homes, opportunities, and it feels like it might be geared toward people who are young.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So maybe some hope for some people. And sixth house can be health matters. So maybe there's something that's coming out with that has to do with health advances. Because what I love when I see a solar return chart, even if it's like a mundane type of calendar or a like a country chart, if I see part of fortune, it does show that there's some success that month or in that part of that house.
Yeah.
With Scorpio, what I like, have you heard about the video that was just released? It was the Saudi Arabian women. Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yes.
And so Scorpio is Saudi Arabia. So I wonder if there could be some such outrage that something has changed for some of them. Some of those people are released, we hope, because there is a nice sextile here.
Yeah, I have the star card. So this is someone getting what they're reaching a goal. They're reaching a goal.
Okay. Yeah, there's momentum right here is Venus and it's attached to this. So it's sex or there's a sextile there. Yeah. So these are females. Could be older females because of Venus in Capricorn. So maybe these women are finally being released, but we've got this Saturn Neptune that is squaring this. It's like a Saturn in astrology means a lock. Neptune means an invisible lock or something that is maybe there's some kind of
it makes me think of like like it's the lesser of two evils. The opportunity is like you're saying with a lock that's invisible. It's like presented with an offer, but it's a little bit smoke and mirrors maybe.
Yeah.
Or both choices are not great.
Exactly. And interesting how Saturn also means fear and Neptune means water. So fear on Water Street. So we're seeing maybe a lot of distress from the public about these people. And we're going to start seeing, I'm sure, of course, we're going to be seeing photos, old photos, Saturn old, Neptune photos of some of the victims who were injured. Now, I don't think that anybody died. So very interesting, the star card and then also the Lovers card.
Yeah.
Once we get into the Black Moon Lilith, and I noticed, Jen, you said Black Moon Lilith. You also said U-turns on fuel allowance for pensioners. That could be, the fuel is Neptune up there. So possibly they know it would be political suicide to stop those payments.
Yeah.
Tommy Robinson back in court early June. Thank you, Jan. Amber free movement for EU and UK for 18 to 30s. There you go. Free movement for young EU citizens in UK. Yeah. Okay. The young people are going to be very, very happy. No drug or drink test results released for him. We're going to look at King Charles's solar return. We're coming into this T-square here. He is in Canada. He's traveling like crazy. This T-square tells me, with all of the transportation that we're talking about, is there something that he's going to be dealing with that might be some kind of a either a delay of transportation or maybe some kind of fear, because Saturn is in when it's in a square, it can show fear.
Yeah. Let's see. I do not like continually getting the Seven of Swords.
Yeah.
This is about it, maybe even a change. It's like he might change the way he is transported, like at the last second. It's like
off.
It's like take the train. No, don't take the train. Take a car. We're changing strategy around his travel, or it could be water too. And that's him, the Strength card. Yeah, I feel like it's like a trade of like, well, I'll take this if you take that, or we're not having him travel. It doesn't feel like a delay. It feels like a change of transportation.
Okay. Should I ask, why is he changing transportation? Hello, Christy. Hello, Lucy Morningstar. I love the name.
Wow, that's big energy. Magician, the Judgment card, and the Moon. This feels like I'm getting the word like a publicist or someone who it's about optics. It's something about optics. It's not going to look right if you do that, or maybe it's something where they tell him he shouldn't take a boat, or he could take a boat that looks better if you're on a boat, or vice versa. But it's an intentional choice, strategic choice based on optics, the way it would look.
I wonder if Magician is Prince William's card. Maybe he's telling him not to go somewhere.
Maybe. And the Moon also is hidden, where maybe it's like, no, we're not going to show you leaving. We're not doing a hoopla for your exit home, or, we're taking a different way so that you're not seen, something like that.
Okay. Sneaking off.
Yeah.
I wanted to just make a real,
last clarifier. We're talking about, I just love the last minute confirmation.
Right. Yeah.
That we're talking about transportation.
So much Chariot. And real quick, I wanted to show you, that the Scorpio there, that's all about the tariffs. Mm-hmm. I think there's a win with the tariffs. I think that there are some people who are okay, and then others that are not. And it could be, there's so much Pisces, and in a square could be those fishermen. People who are on Fisher Street are very upset, or those types of Piscean themes. So that's going to be moving on that Scorpionic energy. Oh, we're going to see so much revenge. People just everywhere in the news, we're going to see that Scorpionic energy, but also the pregnancy too. Maybe we're going to start seeing more. I want to know, who do you think is pregnant? Because there's going to be something about a pregnancy.
Let's see. Wow. Here we go again. It feels like it's someone who's known to have had perhaps a pregnancy loss or miscarriage. Young. Yeah, very young. It's like someone might be known for having had pregnancy loss in the past.
Okay. All right. Good to know. And hello, Heather. Yes, I knew it was you. So thank you for joining us. I'm sure you're interested in the crime chart too. So, which did I even put the crime chart in there? I don't know if I did that. No, we just talked about the solar return. I don't think I have enough time in this show, but this is Meghan's. I put Meghan on the cover. I figure I might as well mention something about her today. And we have got, we're going to be July 4th, and this is June 4th. She just started a Sagittarius energy. And there's somebody here in the 10th house. She's got a lot of very positive things that are happening, but something is not happening with this. It's a shock of some sort. This could have something to do with a home, with that moon, home, mother. How is Meghan's mother doing?
Let's see. Okay, interesting. The Sun card. And the King of Pentacles. You know what, though? This is about children and families, too. The Sun card. And it's like multi-generational home.
Okay. Looks like she's doing fine.
She's doing okay. But is she moving in with them? Okay. Does she live with them? She doesn't live with them.
I don't know, but it does look like there's some type of switch or change for her.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's like bringing up, the young page cards, a boy and a girl. Like, does she move in with them?
Okay, maybe. Okay, it doesn't.
Harry card is the final confirmation.
There's a little bit of a blip, but on the whole, for Meghan, we're moving on into the Capricorn. That's going to be in June, and then Saturn's going to activate here. There's a lot of memories that are happening. A lot of this is big. This is big because we've got the royals here. I think she's either going to France or London, England. Where is Meghan going right before her birthday? That has to do with Leo.
10 of Cups. That's like a family vacation with the family. High Priestess, my Diana card. Could they go to Althorp or to see Diana's family?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like R&R. This is the, rest and relaxation. Another card, 7 of Wands, made me think of like Bali or Fiji.
Okay.
An island, maybe.
Eleanor, you are so observant. Amber, please tell us about the cricket bat.
Yes. That was my dad's cricket bat. We lived in the village in Bedfordshire on a cricket bat field, like across from our home. And I kept it all these years.
That's amazing. Dad's with you. Here late, we'll try to catch up. Hello. Oh, CR user, thank you for joining us. Christine, nice to see you. And Lucy, you are always crime charting 100% and 24/7. Now, to me, for Meghan, though, we've got this opposition with Mars here. This is something that this has to do with female. This could be a famous female that is kind of coming out and talking about her. And this is right before her birthday. This is once Capricorn comes in, we've got this female, Venus, and then you've got this T-square with Mars. And somebody is kind of lashing out here, really upset. And that starts, I would say, June 4th, maybe around mid-June.
Do we want to know who it could be?
Oh, yeah. Tell us who it is.
Let's see. Oh, this could be someone, they definitely are a frenemy. I feel like it's someone that is a friend or was a friend. Honestly, it could be a man or a woman. Could be a man with long hair. But it also could be someone who helps control her finances or did.
Okay. Yes. And maybe it has to do with that female who is talking again, who ran the charity with.
Yeah, maybe.
Can't remember her name, but yeah. She could be coming out. These things can make you just feel tired because you're having to deal with this stuff all the time. But it's good to know that there's just a section of it in your chart that you can move on from it.
Yeah.
And Mills, is mid-school closed or is there still time to sign up? Well, actually, all you have to do is be a member and just wait for the notification and then come on and discuss it with us. Discuss all of your medical questions. I'll try my best. And thank you, Jan, saying it's a good reading tonight. Yeah, we've got some good stuff. The chart for this week. Okay, so we're still in Capricorn here. Looks like a better chart to me this week. And we're going to look at the chart ruler. So that's going to be Saturn and Neptune down here. What are people going to be talking about? Well, we're going to look at Venus. And that's going to be over here. Wow, lots of royals, lots of female royals. Maybe they're going to some kind of event. I don't know. You could see that, that trine to Mars, and these are very famous people. They're rich because Venus is in the second house of wealth.
The Beckhams. In Leo, it makes me think of a sports figure.
Yes, could be the wags of, they're in the news. They're doing photo shoots. They're talking. They are talking a lot. Look at this nice mini grand trine here with Jupiter. If Jupiter is in Gemini, these are people who talk a lot, and they do it well. But it's a lot of words there. A lot of words. This is going to be Sunday. This is going to be Monday, and we're looking at the square again with Gemini in this area. We always get financial, I should say always, because for the past couple of shows, we've been getting a lot of financial stuff. This looks like a break-in here. And this is, we might see a headline. And if anybody's just joining us for the first time, we like to look at potential headlines for the week. So we look at the chart Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth through the chart. Uranus right on the fourth house, if it's poorly aspected, which it is, can show somebody is trying to break into somebody's home. It could be maybe somebody in Parliament in the fourth house. Can you give us some information about this potential break-in maybe this week?
Let's see. That definitely goes back to my car into house, crashing into a house. Yes, is it a figure that is well known? King of Wands, world leader with the world card. One more. It's like, to me, I feel more like home invasion, like people are home.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's scary to me. I don't like that. And I got the Chariot again. This is like a car going into a house.
Yeah. Or could it be like a place of business or like a shop
Car
or something?
dealership or something, family owned, could be.
Yeah. So, if you're all wondering, why do we keep seeing these car crashes? It's just that poor aspect, not only from Jupiter in Gemini, but also when Uranus is in a poor aspect, it's like suddenly like, oh my God, what happened? It's a complete shock. We like the blue lines to Uranus because it shows a nice surprise. And so there you go. But well, thank you so much, Amber. And we will see you next week. Have a great weekend.
Yes, I'm going to enjoy my membership. And
yes,
see you on the shows this weekend.
All right. See you then. We love when you draw cards for us. And we also love when everybody else comes on. Grab your cards this week. And we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. Have a good one.